Okay, so strap yourselves in, folks, because today we're taking a deep dive into the crypto Wild West.
You can say that again. It's been a crazy day, hasn't it?
Absolutely bonkers. Bitcoin taking a tumble.
Yeah.
The whole market feeling the jitters.
Yeah.
You know the drill, right? We're here to make sense of this madness.
Cut through the noise, connect the dots, and hopefully give everyone listening a better grasp of what's really going on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's start with the elephant in the room, shall we? Bitcoin. It's dipped below $100,000.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big psychological barrier, isn't it? Especially with all the attention Trump gave it back in the day. You know, calling it a scam and all that.
Right, exactly. It kind of makes you wonder, does this shake people's confidence?
Well, I think it definitely has an impact, you know. For some people, it reinforces that whole narrative of Bitcoin being too volatile, too risky.
Especially for those who bought in when Trump was singing its praises.
Probably.
Might feel a little whiplash right now.
Oh, for sure. But let's not forget, the market's bigger than any one person's opinion.
True. But, you know, it's not just Bitcoin feeling the heat. The overall crypto market cap is down, too.
Yeah, it's taken a hit. We're looking at a 5.53% drop, which translates to a massive $864 million liquidated just in the last 24 hours.
Wow, that's serious money. So it's not just a Bitcoin blip, then. It's a broader market correction.
Seems like it, yeah. There's definitely a sense of caution in the air, a pullback after the recent highs.
But here's what I find really interesting. Despite all this doom and gloom, trading volume is actually way up.
Up how much?
Almost 160%. Can you believe that? So on the one hand, people are freaking out, selling off. But on the other, there's this huge surge in trading.
That's the crypto market for you, right? Always full of surprises. It's a paradox, isn't it?
It really is. Makes you wonder, who are these people buying in right now?
Well, I think there are a few possibilities. Could be seasoned investors seeing this dip as a prime buying opportunity.
Yeah, you know, buy low, sell high and all that.
Exactly. Or it could be newcomers, you know, people who've been on the sidelines finally deciding to jump in.
Maybe they're thinking, hey, if it's on sale, why not?
Possibly. And then, of course, there are the day traders always looking for quick profits, riding the waves of volatility.
Ah, the thrill seekers.
Yeah.
They must be having a field day.
Yeah, probably. So it's a mix, really. Different motivations, different strategies, all converging in this crazy market.
Makes you wonder if there's any rhyme or reason to it all.
Sometimes it feels that way. But hey, that's what keeps things interesting, right? Unpredictability is part of the allure.
Speaking of unpredictable, let's talk about Ethereum for a sec. It had a rough January, but I read that February and March have historically been good months for ETH.
Oh, yeah. What makes you say that?
Some historical data, apparently. So could we be setting ourselves up for an ETH rebound?
You know, it's hard to say for sure. The past doesn't always predict the future, but there are definitely some reasons to be optimistic.
What kind of reasons?
Well, for one thing, there are those layer 2 developments coming up. They're going to make Ethereum transactions faster and cheaper, which could attract a lot of new users.
Ah, so that's the big news.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal. Could be a game changer for Ethereum.
Fingers crossed for all the ETH holders out there.
Absolutely. It's a project with a lot of potential, that's for sure.
Speaking of potential, let's shift gears for a minute and talk about regulation. There's been some pretty big news out of the EU. OKX and Crypto.com just got full MiCA licenses.
Now that is huge news. MiCA, or the Markets and Crypto Assets Framework, is basically the EU's attempt to bring some order to the crypto Wild West, right? Create a single, unified regulatory landscape.
So it's kind of like the EU saying, okay, crypto, you're here to stay. Let's make sure you play by the rules.
Exactly. And for platforms like OKX and Crypto.com, getting a MiCA license is a major win.
How so?
Well, it gives them regulatory clarity, for one thing. They know what's expected of them, which reduces uncertainty and risks.
Makes sense. It's like getting the official EU stamp of approval.
Exactly. And it also gives them access to a massive market. All those EU member states, millions of potential users.
So it's a win-win then. More legitimacy for the crypto industry and more opportunities for these platforms.
You could say that it's a sign that things are maturing, becoming more integrated with traditional finance.
It's like we're witnessing the evolution of crypto in real time, moving from the fringes to the mainstream.
That's a great way to put it.
But, you know, not all regulation is created equal. I mean, we've also got news about Worldcoin being banned in Brazil for that whole iris scanning crypto giveaway thing.
Yeah, that's a whole different ballgame, isn't it? Raises some serious ethical questions.
Definitely. Like, is it okay to give away crypto in exchange for people's biometric data? Where do we draw the line?
Those are tough questions. No easy answers. It gets you thinking about the unintended consequences of this technology.
Absolutely, and the balance between innovation and responsibility.
A balance that's not always easy to strike, especially in a space that's moving as fast as crypto.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like we're building the plane as we're flying it.
I think that's a pretty accurate analogy.
So what do we make of all this then? On the one hand, we've got the EU embracing crypto with MiCA, and on the other, we've got Brazil putting the brakes on Worldcoin.
It's a mixed bag for sure. Shows the complexity of the regulatory landscape and how different countries are approaching crypto in very different ways.
Makes you wonder, what's the future of regulation going to look like? Will we see more harmonization, or will it be a patchwork of different rules and approaches?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Only time will tell.
I guess we'll just have to stay tuned and see how it all unfolds. Now, before we get too serious, can we talk about meme coins for a minute? I mean, on the one hand, you've got these Trump meme coins boosting Google searches for crypto to like a 3-year high.
Yeah, I saw that. It's pretty wild, isn't it?
It's kind of hilarious in a way, but it also shows you the power of memes, right? Especially in this day and age.
Oh, absolutely. Memes are like this cultural currency. They spread like wildfire. And in the crypto world, well, that can translate to real money.
Exactly. So even if these meme coins are a bit of a joke, they're still bringing attention to the crypto space, bringing in new users.
Exactly. It's like this weird, unexpected gateway drug to the world of crypto.
But here's the thing that worries me. We've got this explosion of new tokens hitting the market, like 36.4 million in total.
Whoa, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a crazy number. And it makes me wonder, is this sustainable? I mean, are we reaching a saturation point?
That's a really good question, because if you think about it, with so many tokens out there, it's going to be harder and harder for new projects to stand out, to gain traction.
Exactly. It's like trying to be heard in a crowded room.
Right, and the thing is, not all these tokens are created equal.
Oh, definitely not. We've seen that firsthand, right? Remember that whole DeepSeek debacle?
Oh, man. That was a mess. Pumped and dumped, leaving a lot of people out of pocket.
A classic rug pull. It just goes to show you there's a lot of potential in the crypto space, but there's also a lot of room for scams and manipulation.
Yeah, it's the dark side of the crypto Wild West. And that's why you see people like Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, calling for a more rigorous token listing process.
He's been pretty vocal about that, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's basically saying, look, we need tighter controls to weed out these shady projects to protect investors.
So it's about finding that balance, right? Between fostering innovation and safeguarding against bad actors.
Exactly. Because you don't want to stifle creativity, but you also don't want to create a free-for-all where anyone can get away with anything.
It's a tough one, for sure. But going back to meme coins for a sec, do you think they're ultimately harmless fun, or are they a gateway to more serious problems?
It's tricky, isn't it? Because on the one hand, yeah, they're often tongue-in-cheek, just a bit of fun.
But on the other hand, they could be used to manipulate markets, spread misinformation.
Exactly. And that's where things get murky, ethically speaking, because it's not always clear what the intentions are behind these meme coins.
Right, and it's hard to regulate something that's essentially a joke.
Exactly. It's like trying to regulate humor. It's a slippery slope.
So what do we do? Just let it play out and hope for the best?
I don't know, to be honest. It's uncharted territory. We're still figuring out how to deal with this whole meme coin phenomenon.
I guess it's all part of the grand experiment that is crypto.
Exactly. The experiment continues, with all its ups and downs, its triumphs, and its failures.
And we'll be here to witness it all.
Every step of the way.
Yeah. Okay, I think we need to take a breather for a second.
Yeah, that was a lot to process in a short amount of time.
Seriously, from Bitcoin's roller coaster ride to the EU, trying to wrangle the Wild West of crypto with MiCA.
And let's not forget the meme coin madness. It's like the internet decided to throw a party in the financial district.
A very unpredictable party with laser eyes and rockets emojis.
Exactly. So, before we wrap things up, I want to make sure our listeners walk away with a clear understanding of what we've talked about.
Yeah, good idea. So what would you say are the key takeaways from today's deep dive?
Well, I think the biggest one is that the crypto world is changing. It's evolving.
It's not just about buying Bitcoin and hoping to get rich quick anymore, is it?
Not at all. We're seeing increased regulation, institutional adoption, and a growing focus on real-world applications.
Like those layer 2 developments for Ethereum we talked about earlier.
Exactly. It's becoming more mainstream, more integrated with traditional finance.
So it's not going away anytime soon, huh?
I don't think so. In fact, I think it's just getting started.
Okay, so if someone's listening to this and they're thinking, okay, I want to get into crypto, but where do I even begin? What advice would you give them?
First and foremost, do your research. Don't just jump into something because it's hyped up on social media.
Yeah, that's good advice. There's a lot of noise out there.
Exactly. Take the time to understand the technology, the team behind a project, the potential risks involved.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket, right?
Exactly. Diversify, spread the risk, explore different projects and investment strategies.
And don't be afraid to ask questions.
Absolutely. There are tons of resources out there, online communities, educational platforms. Don't be shy, reach out and learn from others.
And remember, this is a long game. Don't get discouraged by short-term fluctuations.
Exactly. Crypto is a marathon, not a sprint.
So pace yourself, stay informed, and most importantly, don't let FOMO, fear of missing out, dictate your decisions.
Wise words, FOMO, can be a powerful force, but it can also lead to bad decisions.
Absolutely. So to all our listeners out there, thanks for joining us on this roller coaster ride through the world of crypto. We hope you found it informative, insightful, and maybe even a little bit entertaining.
And remember, the journey's just beginning. The future of finance is being written right now, and it's a story that's still unfolding.
So buckle up, stay curious, and keep exploring. Until next time, stay informed and stay engaged.